Hello and welcome. My name is TyrionLanstr. Well, folks, I'm really excited to talk about the newest commander that we've got in Game of Thrones Winter is Coming. Now, as people may be aware, the newest commander is, of course, a new spearman commander, Arymidon. Now, Arymidon we've actually already heard about in the most recent update. We knew that we were going to be getting him. We knew some of the basics of what his stats were going to be, that he got total defense, total health, and total attack. But he was most recently released as part of the westbound journey. One of the days we had was the Arymidon Carnival, as well as the Arymidon Arrival, where you could get a wheel spin to try to get Arymidon tokens to get that commander. As well, you could get some bonus ones based on what level you got him. I, of course, did not spend on this just because I typically don't spend on those commanders, but there are some interesting implications that Arymidon is going to bring to us now that we know how his awakening is going to work. So just to review again, he does get the basic total stats, which suggested to me that he was going to be a commander that was going to give some sort of total stat advantage to his troop type through his awakening. But he's spear, which seems like it's going to synergize with weakness, so there was definitely a lot of speculation about how it would work. Well, we've got the awakening now, and as you can see, the desire for war is his awakening ability. It states that at the start of battle, allied lineups at the front gain a special effect. So basically every 20 cumulative weakness attacks, you attack 2 random enemy targets, prioritizing the front row, and you increase their damage taken by weakness attacks by 5%. So let's just pause for a second. What does this mean? Well, first of all, 20 cumulative weakness attacks specifically from the front. Each time allied lineups at the front trigger 20 cumulative attacks. Now, I believe that means that it's only talking about your front row. Only the very frontline troops are the ones that matter. That is a pretty new mechanic to us for weakness attacks. I mean, that most of the time when you think of the weakness attacks, you want to have a setup where you've got, cavalry, infantry, and spearmen, all three using their weakness attacks with Enzo, Latz, and Drake, and getting all of them kind of synergizing together, getting weakness attacks up and up and up and getting more damage. So I think that the point of Arymidon is really here to synergize with specifically a mono troop weakness attack where you're only using one troop type as your front line. That's doing the weakness attacks, and you're getting Arymidon's ability off of that alone. The attacking 2 random enemy targets, definitely kind of a quick damage burst. It seems like a pretty common trend. 80% damage is going to be pretty good, especially if you're considering this happens every 20 cumulative weakness attacks. If you think about the front row, there are 5 of them. You should do a weakness attack every second, or every second or 2. So basically, for every 4 times your troops are attacking, you get a bonus 80% damage to 2 enemy targets. That's pretty good. The bonus 5% damage definitely just synergizes with weakness attacks further. You're going to get a little bit extra damage there as well. So I think that he's definitely an interesting ability. I think that he's worth synergizing with a weakness setup, especially one that is focused on a mono troop type. The one thing I will say that is what I think is kind of funny about this is that this suggests, as we've established, a mono troop type, but his specialization is total stats, which is not good for mono troop types. So I don't really know what to make of Arymidon. I think that they're trying to make him adaptable for people that want to run weakness with spear or cav or inf. That's why he has total stats. But I gotta say that I do think that this ability feels like it's attempting to change the way that we would approach weakness attack with that whole front line only. And the damage coefficient, of course, is going to be based on that, the total damage that row's doing, I assume. And so that you're going to do a lot better if it's, single troop type and max damage on that one. but I don't know if this is going to be enough to overcome some of the stronger mono troop comps like the females or the bleed setups. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how this all works. I think that I could see him being a very strong commander to pair with, a lineup of Hector, Drake, Jamie, and then, either a Enzo or a Lats, or of course if you have some of the other major commanders, potentially some of the other expensive ones that synergize well with weakness, potentially a Peter Baelish or Daenerys Targaryen wouldn't be bad. Any of them could probably work pretty well. Diana would, of course, go well. I think that those would all be a pretty interesting synergy, but in general, a little confused as to where Arymidon's going to fit in, but anxious and excited to see what people end up doing with him. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you learned a thing or two. And until next time, my name is TyrionLanstr. I'll see you then.